4 years ago, I reviewed a reporting tool called Whatagraph. It was one of my very first brand partnerships ever. Well, they are back. The product now is almost unrecognizable, and today I'm answering one question. Is this the best AI marketing intelligence platform in 2026? I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome to my channel where I share practical advice to help you build and grow your brand. Today, we're looking at Whatagraph. Again, I'm very excited. This is a marketing intelligence platform built for teams that report at scale. Think agencies juggling 50 clients or businesses running 50 locations. Quick disclosure, Whatagraph is partnering with me on this video. Fun fact, they also partnered with me 4 years ago. One of the very first brand deals I ever did. A lot has changed since then in marketing and in this product. So consider this my honest 4 years later review. So here's the plan. I'll walk through the whole platform in the order that matters, the data layer first, then the AI, then reporting and delivery. The market right now is so crowded and every tool claims AI. The real question is whether that AI is working from clean governed data or just guessing confidently. By the end, you're gonna know how this all fits together, so let's get into it. First, the foundation, your data. This part is quick and a little unglamorous, but it's what earns everything that comes later. Yes, we're inside my Whatagraph demo workspace, which I made just for this video to start clean, like your account probably looks when you're just getting started. Okay, the first stop here is connecting data sources. I'm gonna add a few sources of my own. This is not the most exciting thing in the world to watch, so I'm gonna speed it up since this is a YouTube video. But one thing I'm consistently impressed by is the range of data sources that you can connect with Whatagraph, organized by category, so PPC, analytics, social media, email marketing, SEO, call tracking, e-commerce, and more. You can add things like Google Ads, Meta Ads, and LinkedIn ads, all through native connections built and maintained by Whatagraph. This makes a difference because connectors are where most tools fall apart. It's annoying and you know it. Sources disconnect overnight and nobody notices until a client asks a question on a Friday afternoon. There are over 60 native data sources here. You may have searched for PPC reporting platforms that centralize Google, Meta, and LinkedIn. This is exactly that. Also, for anything without a native connection, there's Google Sheets, CRM exports, offline conversions, custom attribution data. You can pull all of it in. I connected my related accounts, even my SEMrush account where I do my ongoing SEO work. This is gonna be great. Now the fun begins. Now a feature for anyone who has cleaned campaign data by hand. Yikes! Whatagraph's AI fixes your naming chaos for you, and watching it happen is weirdly satisfying. Just look at this mess. Campaign names from Google, Meta, and TikTok, and every platform names things differently. Different conventions, random capitalization, platform prefixes, 3 names that all mean the same thing. If you run multiple channels for a client, someone on your team spends real time reconciling things like this by hand. For an analyst, this could be half a day's work. Now watch. First, I open Dimensions and I'm gonna create a new one. Because my data is a connected sheet, I'm gonna pick the source and then I'm gonna choose the field that I wanna clean up. We're gonna choose campaign. Then I type one instruction. Group these by type, brand, prospecting, retargeting, or sale. And then I'm gonna hit run. Whatagraph's AI reads every messy name and sorts it into clean groups. Hallelujah, right here in the preview. Look at the before again and look at the after. First chaos, then consistent labels. And it builds this as a brand new dimension I can drop into any report, so my original data stays untouched. This is the kind of invisible work that quietly eats your week. Not anymore. Now we solve it with Whatagraph and a single prompt. Okay, here's where this stops being a pretty dashboard and starts being intelligence. We're combining channels into one view and then building a metric that you can finally trust. Let's create our first aggregation. This is common with running ads from different accounts. It's a problem every creator and marketer knows. I post, for example, on YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Each platform reports performance its own way. Normally seeing how my month went means 3 or 4 different tabs and then 3 or 4 different logins. So I'm gonna fix that in one place. Now, I started with a template, daily basic performance. There's a few to choose here. Now, this is the screen you want. On the left, one master list of metrics. So impressions, engagements, video views, followers. And then on the right, each platform lines up underneath. YouTube calls something one name, Instagram calls it another, Pinterest another again. Here they all map out to a single label. Just adding my sources here for the different accounts that I've connected. So instead of remembering which platform says what, I define the metric once and it reads it correctly everywhere. Looking good. Let's click continue. Then I'll name it, pick my reporting currency if it's not set, and create it. That's it. That is literally it. So now it's a single source pulling all 5 platforms together, running on its own and updating as new data lands. You can see how I can drop this into any report and every channel sits side by side in one cross-channel view. So it's awesome because you build it once and it works everywhere. Let's test it. Now, let's build a client-ready report from one sentence, and I'll brand it with a screenshot. I'll show you the feature your clients will love most. Okay, let's create a report. We're gonna create this using AI. Here I'm gonna set my data source as our stored data, which we built a second ago, my content, all platforms. Okay, from here, I can enter my prompt. So I'll do that now. A monthly content performance report across YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. So Whatagraph IQ is gonna build the whole thing to start from: structure, widgets, layout. I'll talk more about widgets in a second. And it's already starting to take shape. I'm not actually gonna build this out fully right now because there's a few more things I wanna show you, but I want you to see how easy this is. It's also kind of fun. If something is off, I can click the widget and set a different metric or time period, and then it updates. And check out all of these widgets here on the side. It's like modular, it's really cool. Here I'm gonna add, let's say, a donut chart. Again, just an example. I can set the dimension, the metric, I can view sources and view setup. I can add new data. I've got this set to single row, but I can make this cross-channel if I wanted to. Adjust the widget size. I'll leave it how I had it. I think you get the idea. Next, branding or images. I'm gonna upload a screenshot of my website. And then I will type brand the report to match. And watch here as the colors apply across everything. I can tweak fonts or colors if I want by hand, but the heavy lifting is done. Okay, next, IQ summary. It writes the performance story for the data on this report, and it interprets it rather than just listing it. What went up, what dropped, the likely reason. This is the kind of client-ready language that you want, but you don't really want to have to write it, do you? Or at least have something to start from. And then my favorite is IQ chat. You turn this on, you share the live report link, and your client asks questions about their own data directly. Say it's Friday at 8 p.m. and they have a question, they can get an answer from the real numbers instead of waiting until Monday. If you've searched for a live marketing dashboard for clients or for the best AI reporting tools, I think this combination is hard to beat. Okay, this next part is the reason this video exists. Everything we just did, the connections, the clean names, and the trusted metrics, we're about to hand it all directly to AI. Watch closely. I'm gonna show you what Whatagraph's MCP server is like. For me, it's already connected here. You can see it under connectors, so I'm not gonna walk through every step to set it up, but I've linked to the full guide in the description below if you want to. Essentially, it's a live connection that lets an AI assistant like Claude read your actual marketing data. It works with ChatGPT as well. Let's test it. I'll start with something simple. What do you have access to in my Whatagraph account? Making sure that it's turned on under connectors. Yep. Okay, first few times it's gonna ask you to allow access to a few different points, so you're gonna go through this part as well. There it is. It gives me a summary of every data source connected to my account. It can see my real data. Now the fun part. I ask it a question. What is my best performing platform? We'll give it a second here to load. And just like that, it pulls the answer straight from my Whatagraph account. With this connection, your assistant really knows what it's talking about. People keep searching, I think, for the best AI marketing analytics tools, and with this, it definitely delivers. The answer is only as good as the data underneath it, and that is the whole point of everything that we set up first. Okay, last part. What happens when you go from one client to 50? This is where Whatagraph pays for itself. Agencies and multi-location businesses all pay what I would call a reporting tax. Every new client or location means rebuilding the same report, and every template change means manually updating 20 or 30 or more copies. Here's the fix. I save the report that we just built as a template, then create a new client report linked to it. Now watch. I go back to the original, change one widget, and then I'll switch over to the linked report. It is already changed. One edit, every report instantly. Okay, finally, delivery. I open share settings and schedule this report to send automatically. You pick your recipients, weekly or monthly, day and time. There's also an always on live link for clients who'd rather check in anytime. Some clients want to be pushed, some want to pull. Both are covered, and nobody on your team has to remember to hit send. For anyone comparing automated client reporting tools, this one closes the loop. We built the data layer, we built the report, and now it runs on its own. So, is Whatagraph the best AI marketing intelligence platform in 2026? Here's my honest answer. It comes down to whether you want the whole stack in one place. The data, the intelligence, and the client delivery all running on one governed foundation. The number in your report, your dashboard, and your AI chat is the same number. That's rarer than it should be. 4 years ago, I liked this product. Today, it does things that I didn't even think to ask it for back then. So try it for yourself with my link below. You'll get 50% off your first month on any paid plan. Then tell me in the comments which feature you're gonna try first, the Claude connection or the AI report builder. I'm replying to each and every one of those comments. If this was helpful, hit like because it helps other people find these videos, which we work hard to make for you. And subscribe for more on branding, positioning, and growing your business. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.